Chosen one, what if your entire breakthrough was one decision away, and you had less than 24 hours to make it? You felt the restless pull in your spirit, that urgent nudge that says this moment cannot wait. You've wrestled with doubts, wondering if the messages you've received were truly divine or mere echoes of wishful thinking. You are not alone in this tension. Many have stood at this crossroads, hearts pounding as they sense a sacred window closing faster than they can grasp. Hidden truths have been whispered to you in dreams and quiet hours, and now those truths are crystallizing into a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Today, every second carries weight, and every choice you make either aligns you with destiny or delays your ascent. If this message already speaks to your soul, subscribe, like this video, and comment 77 below. Stay with me, because what unfolds next will change the course of everything you thought you knew about divine timing, and why time itself is on your side. The 24-hour divine deadline. You've felt it in the restless stirring of your heart, like a drumbeat echoing in the stillness of your mind. Every morning you wake with a whisper of urgency you can't ignore, a sense that time itself has leaned in to watch your next move. Doubts creep in. What if you misheard that call, or dreamed up a sense of urgency that doesn't exist? You scan the faces around you, half expecting someone to tell you it was all in your head. But deep down you know this moment is different. You are not alone in sensing this charged atmosphere. Thousands of other chosen souls feel the same tension, the same pressure that says this is not a rehearsal but the real stage. What you are about to hear will lift the veil on a deadline not set by human clocks but by divine design. And your willingness to move now will determine whether you seize what has been prepared or watch it slip away. For weeks, maybe months, you've wrestled with the weight of inaction. You've rehearsed every excuse to delay. Not enough resources, not the right moment, waiting for more clarity. Each day that passed felt like a vow unfulfilled, a promise whispered to your spirit that lingered just out of reach. You've replayed countless scenarios in your mind, measuring risks and mapping perfect conditions that never arrive. In the quiet hours, you may have blamed yourself for lacking courage, or scolded your faith for being too small. The emotional toll has been heavy, moments of elation at a clear vision, followed by the sinking realization that you still hadn't moved. That push and pull has left you drained, haunted by fear that you'll miss your window forever and remain stuck in the waiting room of destiny. Yet what if every pang of hesitation was part of a larger divine orchestration to sharpen your resolve? In the obscure promise of Haggai 1 verse 5 you hear the summons. Now thus says the Lord of hosts, consider your ways. This is not a gentle nudge but a trumpet blast in the night, calling you to examine where you stand and recognize that the sands in the hourglass are running low. Your delay was never evidence of unworthiness but the preparing of your spirit for this precise moment. The questions you've asked about timing, alignment, readiness were part of a sacred interrogation refining your faith. Now the turning point arrives. The hesitations of yesterday transform into the deliberate steps of today, and the clock set by heaven begins its final countdown. Already you can sense the first tremors of change rippling through your life. Perhaps you received a message from someone you haven't heard from in ages, offering exactly what you need to move forward. Maybe a sudden insight strikes you in the middle of a mundane task, standing in the shower, walking your dog, revealing the next step you've been seeking. You may notice doors you once pushed against now swinging open, as if hidden hands have removed the bolts overnight. These are not coincidences but signposts of divine timing aligning with your readiness. Picture dawn breaking after a long night. First the sky lightens at the horizon, then the world floods with color. The same is happening within you, and each subtle shift is proof that the window of opportunity is both real and imminent. Behind the scenes, powerful forces have been at work to set this stage. What felt like endless tests and waiting periods were not obstacles but rehearsals orchestrated by a wisdom beyond your understanding. You might shrug off a fortunate happenstance as luck today, only to see tomorrow how it was a critical piece of the puzzle. An email arriving at the perfect second, a chance encounter that unlocks resources, an unexpected opening that aligns with your deepest calling. In the seldom quoted words of Isaiah 41 verse 10 you find assurance. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Your trials were never punishments but preparations designed to elevate you at this appointed hour. Faith and manifestation now converge, and what once felt like coincidence reveals itself as divine choreography. At this juncture, you may feel the sharp edge between exhilaration and fear. You notice your pulse quicken as the deadline looms, and doubt may whisper that this pressure is too much, that you are not ready to step through the door. Many resist this crucible of urgency because they fear the unknown valley beyond their familiar peaks. Yet true alignment demands more than observation of signs. It requires that you fully embrace the momentum and cross into territory where faith outpaces fear. This is a sacred threshold, the moment when you must choose whether to honor the summons of your soul or retreat into the safety of inaction. The universe holds its breath as you decide. So stand firm and move with awakened faith. Release every excuse that ties you to the past and declare with conviction that now is your time. Speak your commitment aloud, whether in private affirmation or shared declaration, and let it echo through your day. Take tangible steps, however small. Send that email you've drafted a dozen times, make that call you've been avoiding, post that message you've held back. These acts are not mere tasks but keys turning in the locks of destiny. As you step forward, feel the weight drop from your shoulders and the current of purpose rise within you. You are no longer waiting, you are living the clockwork of divine promise. This moment transcends routine ambition. It is a portal into the extraordinary life you were designed to inhabit. The deadline draws near, but it is not meant to terrify you. It is meant to empower you, to show that time can be both sacred and yours to command through faith. Comment deadline if you feel the surge of urgency and the promise of fulfillment pressing in around you. Remember, the hour of awakening waits for no one, and every breath you take now carries the pulse of destiny. Move swiftly and boldly, for the divine window shines brightest before it closes. Your moment is here. Claim it with purpose, with courage, with unwavering faith. Thank you to our dedicated members who have answered the call and stand ready in faith. And if you feel called to go even deeper, there's a sacred space reserved for our community, a private room where you receive full prophetic messages daily. Join our private membership through the link in the description and walk this path with us. Prophetic direction for your path. You've felt the weight of every question pressing on your heart, the ache of knowing there is a path before you yet not seeing the map. Each morning, you wake with a flicker of hope that today might be the day when it becomes clear which step to take, only to be met with the same fog of confusion by dusk. You sense the world moving around you, friends making life-changing decisions, career doors swinging open for others, relationships blossoming with purpose, while you stand at a crossroads wondering which trail leads to your own destiny. You are not alone in this. Many chosen souls share the same restlessness, the same quiet frustration of waiting for divine direction. Yet today, that restlessness will transform into certainty, and you will discover how clarity rains down on your spirit like living water, revealing the path you were born to walk. For too long, you may have felt swept by every passing trend and opinion, your compass spinning in response to others' expectations rather than the stirrings of your own soul. You've watched mentors champion one approach only to abandon it for the next big idea, leaving you to wonder whether any direction could be trusted. You've poured yourself into relationships that seemed promising but finally petered out, leaving you to question your judgments and wonder if you were simply chasing echoes of other people's dreams. Each misstep carried an emotional toll, nights haunted by what if and days shadowed by unease. You've craved a sign that cuts through the noise, a word of instruction so precise it dispels every doubt, because you know your purpose demands the right path, not just any path. But what if every moment of wandering, every false start and dead end, was actually part of a divine plan to prepare you for this very hour? In the lesser-known passage of Isaiah 30 verse 21, you hear a promise made to those who seek the way, and your ears shall hear a word behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it." Whenever you turn to the right hand or whenever you turn to the left, imagine that every uncertain step was a rehearsal for the moment when your inner ear would tune in to that unmistakable voice guiding you forward. Your hidden season of preparation has sharpened your senses, teaching you to listen not to the loudest voices, but to the still, clear whisper that comes from your deepest truth. Now begin to notice the subtle shifts unfolding around you. You may catch a sudden insight in the midst of routine tasks, as if a new thought springs fully formed into your mind, exactly the next move you've been searching for. Perhaps someone you've barely spoken with reaches out with a message that contains the precise encouragement or resource you need. You might find that dreams you once dismissed as random now replay scenarios with vivid clarity, awakening you before dawn with a sense of urgency and direction. These signs of breakthrough are like first green shoots after a long winter, promising that the barren landscape of indecision is giving way to a garden of unshakable purpose. Behind the scenes, higher forces have been at work to clear your path and align your circumstances with the blueprint of your destiny. You might find yourself in conversation with a stranger who reveals information you never knew you needed, or stumble upon a book that illuminates a decision you've been agonizing over. In the often overlooked encouragement of Habakkuk 3 verse 19 you read, "The sovereign Lord is my strength. He makes my feet like the feet of a deer. He enables me to tread on the heights." Every struggle you endured was not a random test of endurance but a setup for elevation, training you to move with grace and confidence when the moment of clarity arrives. Your faith and action now converge, manifesting the precise steps laid out for you. At this turning point, you may feel the tremor of both excitement and fear. It's natural to resist fully embracing a vision so clear that it demands you leave behind the safety of indecision. You might worry that stepping onto this newly illuminated path will require sacrifices you're not ready to make, or that the unknown territory ahead carries risks too great to bear. Many people cling to fragments of comfort, even if fragile, rather than walk boldly into the light of certainty. Yet true alignment calls for more than seeing the signs. It asks you to embody them, to choose trust over trepidation, and to step forward in the confidence of your calling. So now is the time to empower yourself with decisive action. Release every excuse that has held you in limbo and affirm with conviction that you will follow the direction you've received. Speak your intention aloud, whether in meditation, prayer, or to a trusted friend, declaring the precise path you see unfolding before you. Take the first clear step without waiting for perfect conditions. Send the message you've hesitated over, apply for the role that ignites your passion, or pursue the relationship that resonates with your soul's purpose. These acts are not mere tasks but the activation of destiny, each one strengthening your connection to the divine guidance that now courses through your life. This is the moment when your scattered hopes coalesce into a single, unwavering drive. The map has been drawn into your spirit, and the path glows beneath your feet. As you walk forward in faith and clarity, every choice you make will echo in eternity, forging a legacy of purpose and impact. Comment direction if you see your next step and feel the surge of confidence that comes with knowing you are aligned with divine wisdom. The window of opportunity stands open. Will you follow without delay and walk boldly into the purpose waiting for you? And to every soul who's supported with a super thanks, thank you. You are keeping this light alive for others who haven't found it yet. If you feel called to help this mission reach more chosen ones, tap the super thanks button below. Your energy supports these messages and helps them travel further. Your voice matters, your belief matters, and your light is felt here. Abundance is already active. You've spent so long hearing that doors would open only for those with the right pedigree, that wealth belonged to the few who mastered the unspoken rules of power, that blessings arrived only when you towed a certain line. You may have watched others thrive while you scraped by, felt the sting of every closed opportunity, and wondered if you were destined for a life of second best. The constant message was scarcity. There's not enough to go around, you're too late, you'll never catch up. Yet in this very hour, a wave of overflow is breaking across your life, and the old narratives of lack are evaporating. You are not alone in sensing this shift. Countless chosen souls feel the tide turning, bringing a fresh season where abundance is not just a promise but a present reality. Today, you will see how this flood of provision moves from theory into practice, and why the universe itself rejoices in your breakthrough. For years, you've battled the voice of limitation whispering in your ear. You remember tallying every penny before you dared to invest in your dreams, paralyzed by the fear of running dry. You've wrestled with rejection letters and empty bank statements, feeling each no as a verdict on your worth. You've tried trimming your budget, hustling harder, pleasing others to secure stability, only to find that scarcity still shadowed your every step. That pattern beat down your confidence and convinced you that abundance was a distant shore you'd never reach. Each attempt to break free ended in frustration, as though the universe itself conspired to keep you stuck in the grind. You carried the weight of those disappointments like a lead cloak, longing for a sign that the season of lack could finally end. But what if every closed door and every empty promise was part of a divine calibration meant to prepare you for this flood of blessings? In the lesser-known reassurance of Proverbs 10 verse 22 you read, "The blessing of the Lord makes rich, and he adds no sorrow with it." This is not a mere wish. It's a declaration that the abundance coming your way carries no hidden strings, no silent costs demanding payment afterward. Your months or years of deprivation were not random punishments, but the preamble to a grand release. The tests you endured sharpened your gratitude, tuning your spirit to recognize riches when they arrive. The hunger you felt in every area of your life was meant to create the space for overflow, emptiness becoming the vessel for blessings unimagined. Already, you are witnessing the first drips of this mighty stream. Perhaps you stumbled on a resource you thought lost forever, an old account containing funds you forgot, a valuable contact reappearing just when you most needed help, or a sudden surge of creative ideas that promise new income streams. You might notice strangers offering help without prompting, a friend sending a gift in perfect timing, or an unexpected opportunity falling into your lap. These events may feel random at first, but as they multiply, you see the pattern. Abundance is not trickling but pouring in from every corner. Financial, emotional, spiritual, even physical. It's as though the skies have opened and rain falls in torrents upon the parched earth of your life, each drop promising renewal and growth. Behind the scenes, unseen hands are guiding these breakthroughs, orchestrating moments of synchronicity that defy coincidence. You might shrug off a lucky strike today, only to realize tomorrow how critical it was in saving a project from collapse. A book you randomly pick up delivers the exact insight you needed to solve a problem, or a casual remark from someone reveals a pathway to prosperity you never considered. In the hidden encouragement of Esther for verse 14 you learn, "And who knows whether you have not come to the kingdom for such a time as this?" Each intervention has been carefully timed to align with your readiness, proving that your struggles were not a punishment of endurance but a setup for this season of elevation. Faith and action now merge, making your steps co-create the abundance you've been prayed for. Even so, you may feel an echo of the old fear, a whisper that this bounty might vanish if you celebrate too loudly, or that you don't deserve such grace. Many resist fullness because it demands a new identity, one that believes in unbounded possibility rather than holding tight to safety nets. You might fret over whether you'll manage this overflow wisely or worry that abundance carries hidden costs you can't foresee. Yet this moment calls you to step fully into the promise, to trust that genuine provision bears no regrets. True alignment with divine abundance means releasing every shred of fear about losing what you once thought you needed to hoard and welcoming each gift with an open hand and an open heart. So claim your place in this season of overflow. Release the mental budgets that keep you locked in scarcity, and declare with conviction that blessings now flow freely in your life. Speak gratitude over every resource, every kind gesture, and every unexpected gift that comes your way. Take practical steps to invest in your dreams, whether by hiring help, purchasing tools that lift your work, or giving generously to others, because abundance demands circulation, not stagnation. Each act of generosity and faith builds momentum, creating a loop where giving and receiving dance together in harmony. As you move boldly in this new reality, you demonstrate that abundance is not an accident, but a partnership between your willingness and divine generosity. This flood of provision is a testament to the power of aligned faith, where your belief activates the channels through which blessings flow. Watch now as the current of generosity transforms your world, turning scarcity into opportunity and fear into freedom. Comment abundance if you feel the floodgates opening in your life and you're ready to walk in the fullness of what has been prepared for you. As you embrace this overflow, remember that every resource you receive carries the promise of purpose. Use it to elevate not just yourself but everyone whose life intersects with yours. Abundance is no longer a distant dream but your living reality. Step forward with gratitude, with courage, and with the unwavering conviction that the universe rejoices in your prosperity. Your time to flourish is now. Claim it, celebrate it, and watch as the ripple of your faith-filled action spreads far beyond what you ever imagined. The tests are over, you passed. You've spent nights wondering if all your efforts were in vain, heart pounding as you questioned whether you'd ever break free from relentless challenges. Maybe you've looked around and seen others succeed, while you felt stuck in a loop of setbacks. You felt the tightening grip of discouragement, that prickling doubt that maybe you aren't strong enough, gifted enough, or faithful enough to withstand the pressure. You are not alone in this struggle. Countless chosen ones have felt the weight of repeated trials bear down on their spirits. Yet today marks the end of that season of testing. What you are about to discover will show you that every stumble, every doubt, every fiery ordeal was not a sign of failure but the very process that readied you for your elevation. Throughout your journey, you have carried the scars of every trial, moments of confusion when your prayers seemed unheard, waves of rejection when doors slammed shut despite your pleas, and the creeping sensation that perhaps this was all too much to bear. You remember the project that fell apart at the last minute, the betrayal of a friend you trusted implicitly, and the nights when you questioned the purpose behind so many closed doors. Those experiences left you questioning your worth and your path, stirring a sense of loneliness that convinced you no one truly understood your burden. Yet beneath that pain was a hidden promise, a quiet current beneath the roaring waves, preparing you for the summit you now stand upon. What if every moment of despair was part of a grander design to forge unwavering faith within you? In the often overlooked words of Ezekiel 36 verse 26 you hear, "And I will give you a new heart, and a new spirit I will put within you." Imagine your old self, tested and refined, being replaced by a spirit unbreakable in the face of any storm. Your trials were not an experiment in endurance but the forge that created your new heart. Each disappointment, each challenge, was a sculptor's chisel removing the excess, revealing the solid masterpiece beneath. You were never being punished. You were being prepared for a platform where your strength and your faith would shine without question. Already, the first signs of your transformation are appearing in plain sight. You may notice that you no longer panic when a plan derails. Instead, you breathe deeply, trusting that a better path will emerge. You might find yourself speaking up with confidence in meetings where before you remained silent, or offering help to others in ways you once doubted you could. Small victories, like completing tasks you once postponed or waking with a clear sense of purpose, are no longer rare. They are proof that you have crossed an invisible threshold, emerging from the crucible of trial into a realm where you walk unshaken, your footsteps guided by newfound clarity. Behind the scenes, you're being lifted by forces that orchestrate your rise with precision and care. You may dismiss a chance compliment as coincidence, but soon realize it was the encouragement you needed to keep moving. A random article might land in your inbox, containing exactly the insight you required. In the lesser-known promise of Zechariah 4 verse 10 you read, "For who has despised the day of small things?" This reveals that every modest breakthrough, every step forward, was significant. Your struggles were never meaningless. They were laying the groundwork for this moment of elevation. Faith and manifestation converge here, demonstrating that the universe itself conspires to bring the chosen into their rightful place. Even now, you may feel the flutter of old fears, that this moment of elevation could slip through your fingers or that you might stumble again. It's natural to hesitate when standing at the threshold of greatness, wondering if you truly deserve what lies ahead. Many resist stepping fully into their potential out of fear of the unknown or the weight of new responsibilities. Yet this moment is sacred, a point of no return where you must decide whether to let hesitation hold you back or to claim the victory you have earned. The choice you make now shapes not just your destiny, but the impact you will have on the world. So step forward with unwavering confidence. Release every thought that you are not ready, and embrace the truth that you have been prepared for this elevation. Speak your declarations of victory aloud, whether in prayer, meditation, or a simple affirmation, and let them echo through your day. Take bold actions. Accept the promotion offered, launch that project you've refined through trial, or step into leadership roles you once deemed out of reach. Each act of faith anchors you more deeply in the reality of your new status, proving that you are not being rescued, but elevated into greater spheres of influence and blessing. Your robes are indeed ready for your promotion, and the doors ahead swing wide, inviting you in. You stand now at the summit of preparation, a testament to the power of faith that endures through every fire and flood. Comment past if you embrace this victory and feel the surge of strength flowing through you. The final shift remains, but your elevation is certain. Step into it with the full confidence of one who has truly passed every test and emerged triumphant. Alignment activates your rise. You've felt the tension in your bones, the subtle pull that tells you something greater awaits. Yet you hesitate because they convinced you that now is not your season. You've heard whispers that elevation comes only after endless waiting, that you must prove yourself over and over before the universe will bend in your favor. Yet here you stand, sensing that the moment has arrived, your spirit brimming with anticipation and a quiet fire that compels you forward. You are not alone in this sensation. Countless chosen souls have felt the weight of delay pressing down, only to discover that alignment, when heart, mind, and action coalesce, activates a rise more powerful than any deadline could contain. Today, you'll learn how each deliberate move you make in this hour turns the wheels of destiny in your direction, and why obedience to your inner guidance is the master key unlocking your ascent. For too long, you may have found yourself trapped in a cycle of waiting, watching as others stepped into opportunities while you hovered on the sidelines. You remember the evenings spent analyzing every decision, racked with what-ifs and if-onlys, as you replayed the advice of mentors who told you to wait for a clearer signal. You felt the sting of invitations that arrived too late, the crushing sigh when you realized you danced around your destiny while fear held you back. Each hesitation carried an emotional toll, the quiet self-reproach, the hollow longing, until you began to wonder if your calling would ever find you. That struggle has been deeply personal, tying up your best intentions in knots of indecision and leaving your purpose suspended in the realm of dreams. But what if every moment you spent waiting was part of a divine blueprint to prepare you for this precise turning point? In the lesser-known encouragement of Jeremiah 30 verse 19, you find the promise, "Out of them shall proceed thanksgiving and the voice of those who make merry. I will multiply them, and they shall not be few." Envision that your season of waiting was not exile but incubation, nurturing thanksgiving and celebration beneath the surface. Each day of patience was a strand in a tapestry, weaving together experiences that sharpened your discernment and deepened your trust in the invisible. Now the pattern comes into view, revealing that the time to rise is not some arbitrary moment far off, but right here, anchored in the clarity you've earned. Already, you're feeling the first tremors of change as your environment responds to your shift in mindset. You might notice that conversations with colleagues become infused with newfound respect, as if they sense your inner alignment and step aside to let you lead. Doors that appeared bolted may click open when you reach for the handle with decisiveness. Opportunities you once feared too bold or risky suddenly feel like natural extensions of who you are. These subtle shifts are like the first cracks in a dam, small yet suffused with the promise of a swelling current. They prove that divine timing works not in leaps but in precise ripples that, when recognized and acted upon, cascade into tidal waves of transformation. Behind the scenes, unseen forces collaborate with your obedience to align resources, connections, and moments in synchrony with your next steps. You may shrug off a serendipitous email or an unplanned meeting, but soon realize these encounters were placed on your path by a wisdom far greater than chance. In the often overlooked prophecy of Habakkuk 2 verse 3 you read, "For the vision is yet for the appointed time. It hastens toward the goal and it will not fail." Consider that each vision you've held close is racing toward fulfillment, propelled by the momentum of your faith in action. These synchronicities are not random events but deliberate signposts guiding you along the road your spirit already recognizes. Your window of destiny is before you. Act now or watch the moment pass. Subscribe if you haven't yet, like this video, and comment "I am chosen" to let this message anchor in your soul. Share it with someone who needs this urgent word. Thank you to all our supporting members who keep this light burning bright. For full prophetic revelations daily, join the membership via the link in the description. Your spiritual path deserves more than fragments. Step into the full light. And if this message moved you deeply, consider tapping the Super Thanks button to support the mission. Every Super Thanks fuels the light we're spreading together. Time is fleeting, but your moment is here. Be swift, be bold, be chosen.